I'm Don McIntyre.
And I'm Margie McIntyre, but you can call me Ted.
This is the world's coldest home video, shot in temperatures as low as minus 34 degrees Celsius with a home video camera. What you're about to see are the highs and lows of our year living in a box, together alone and beyond rescue in the last frontier. People are aliens in Antarctica, a land of extremes where you learn a lot about nature and even more about yourself. Our adventure involved an operation every bit as complicated as setting up a space station. I'm often asked why we did it. Certainly Scott, Shackleton and Mawson had an influence, but really there is no simple answer. How can you quantify putting man on the moon or climbing Everest? This is Cape Denison in Antarctica, the windiest spot on the face of the Earth, where for 3 days out of 4 the katabatic wind blows at over 120 kilometres an hour. I had sailed here with 3 others in 1993 on my yacht Buttercup to taste Antarctica and inspect the hut built in 1911 by Sir Douglas Mawson, one of the last great explorers of the heroic age. For Mawson and his men, adventure was never far away. Danger became a constant companion, the price paid for scientific gain. But for me, this trip was just a summer holiday. For 13 days we battled winds of up to 160 kilometres an hour. Most of the time we were trapped on the boat and I only spent 3 full days ashore, but I was touched not only by the majesty and power of Antarctica, but by Mawson's presence. Arriving home, I put a crazy idea to Margie. Let's go down there and spend a year, together alone.
I knew it was going to be tough. I'd only ever seen snow twice before in my whole life.
But every big journey starts with the first step. This is, I think, it. The saying goes, why jump out of a perfectly good plane when you're parachuting? This is sort of why chop up a perfectly healthy body. But we're losing our appendix. I was actually reading Mawson's book, and he had a lot of problems with his dogs, you see. All the way down, his dogs were going nuts, and I think he lost about half of them through appendicitis attacks. They went delirious and foaming at the mouth and things like that, so he thought, well, I guess we better get our appendix out. Ted is really pissed.
But I'm not foaming at the mouth.
Yeah. I joked too soon as I was the one foaming at the mouth with complications in recovery.
Oh, bugger. Here in Antarctica, expedition icebound, together alone.
Okay.
A live crayfish, Mum! Could you?
Bye.
We set off on my 40th birthday. What a great way to celebrate my midlife crisis. On board were a crew of 5 helping us sail Spirit of Sydney, which was loaded to the gunnels with 4.5 tonne of equipment, everything we would need to survive for 2 years. Our journey would take us 2,500 nautical miles south of Sydney, through the roaring 40s and furious 50s to the screaming 60s, battling the roughest ocean in the world. I'm into 2 pairs of inner gloves and an outer liner gloves. It's getting very cold, nose is starting to dribble. Generally speaking though, the weather's been pretty good. We had a couple of days of funny stuff at the beginning. Everyone was crook. I was sick for virtually 2 days, which is unusual. Usually I'm only out for a few hours.
Being a shirt inside a washing machine. It's the best description of what it feels like being inside the boat. I'm just waiting for the spin dryer to come and mess with me.
I knew all about washing machines. In 1991, during that year's BOC Challenge, I'd been through the ringer.
Just got rolled 360. And I miss Ted, and sometimes I really wish I wasn't here, I tell you.
I'd never felt so alone in my life. Now on Spirit, it was so good to have company.
We made a bet that we'd see an iceberg before midday today, and it was done at midnight last night, and we're at 63 degrees south, and we never bloody well saw one. Excuse me. Ice. 11:30 and there's ice out there. Snow is ice. It's frozen water.
Incorrect. It's going in the water.
We have to ask the independent judge here.
Oh, it's ice. It's ice. It's ice.
Hey!
Could you ease the spinnaker halyard? Oh. That's the last thing they heard in the Titanic before the band played, mate.
We've only got about 45 miles to go. We've come across a couple of our first big blocking areas of pack, just big streams going through, so we're slowly just working our way through and penetrating and just really sussing out how we can get through it. So it's just, hit and miss now. We just got to keep going along, but conditions are good. There's no wind, it's calm, there's lots of good animals to keep us busy. The Delhi penguins are already getting the crew laughing.
home for the year. Cape Denison, Commonwealth Bay, you know, it's starting to blow already. We've got about another, I don't know, 7-8 miles or something to go.
Wind chill temperatures were down around minus 25 degrees Celsius and the boat was icing up, so preparing to enter Boat Harbour wasn't easy. The risk increases dramatically when you're surrounded by rocks and the motor is only just coping against the wind. We'd only have one shot at getting the anchor down and there would be no room for error.
The excitement of finally dropping anchor was shattered. We dragged and crashed onto rocks. I'm no sailor, but I know boats are meant to float. We were facing a potential disaster. I wondered whether all 7 of us would be stranded on the ice.
We were lucky. The wind backed off and the crew put in a big effort.
The story is that we're on a ledge, a shelf. The port side of the keel is wedged up against a rock, and I've cranked the boat over. If we can just have a little bit more water with the tides coming in, we might just, and with the weight on these springs and things, we can maybe just bounce off again. Oh, sudden breeze. We're floating now, we're off that shelf. You beauty.
There's still a bit of a race on to get the boat settled now. It's good to be floating again. I think everyone's happy about that. But now get the boat settled and then get the gear off as quick as we can and make the most of it.
Way down the water.
What's the number?
9798530.
It's ringing. This is a giggle.
Freaky.
Here we are in front of Mawson's hut and I'm dialing home with my ComSat Inmarsat M. Hello Expedition Icebound, it's Don McIntyre. Yeah, that's right, we got in yesterday but we were flat out because we had a few problems. The boat ended up on the rocks.
I couldn't believe it. Ted and I had always rented. Now we're walking around Antarctica, of all places, looking for a site to build our first house.
Good view.
Oh, we're just looking for a really nice waterfront real estate.
We're not allowed to bring huskies down here anymore, so I got the 2 other dogs here on the go. They're better than huskies.
You'll get your turn.
Melbourne Grammar Specials. Trained from an early age, these 2 dogs. You don't want to show them too much kindness, that's what I would always say. Be hard. Fair but hard, that's the thing to go. Hold it there, hold it there! Right, once they get the pace up, they're gone. They're good dogs! They shoot horses, you know. Useless hounds.
Get back in there! Come on, everyone!
There were a lot of fun and games. Everyone was in high spirits, but there was still serious business to be done. 3 long days were spent hauling 25 loads of heavy gear to our hut site. This is getting very exciting now. The first cut. Maybe we'll have a hut in about a day or two, so fingers crossed. Okay, that's not too bad. There's bound to be a bedrock under that. That one there's alright. This is a really good site for us, and we photographed the area now before we've come in. We'll have absolute minimal impact, and when we've cleared everything away in a year's time, we'll photograph the site again, and I'm pretty confident it'll be looking pretty good. Taking them about, 4 hours, I suppose, to drill 3 holes. Geez, they're slack buggers. In actual fact, the rocks are a lot harder than what we ever expected, so now the weather's starting to close in. I reckon it's going to be a full of blizzard soon, so we're packing up for the day. We're having an early day. We've been working till about 11 o'clock every night, but it's only 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so I'll go home and have tea and bickies.
Even though it's really blowing and looks really disgusting outside, you can still quite cope with it. Because you can always find a place where you can hide. So as long as you've got that little haven, you can cope with anything.
Hasn't really started yet. It's going to get grim. We're going to see some amazing things. The weather's come in today, but it came in slowly. We're going to see some real vicious weather changes. For the windiest spot on Earth, the weather was kind. We were back working within a few days.
No, hang on.
This side is actually the westerly side.
No, hang on, I got east on my panel, hang on.
East is the other side.
Are you guys in the union or what?
No, we're on, this is danger money. This is
Danger money.
I'm above 2 foot above the ground. Beautiful hutting weather, beautiful.
What about...
As long as it lasts, we'll be right. Otherwise this will be like a deck of cards going down. Really? Where's that for, Jack? Is that the roof? That's the roof.
The hut was modelled on a freezer, the kind that store kangaroo carcasses in the outback, but we were hoping to stay warm on the inside.
Like home! But I mean, fantastic view out the front window. I got a house!
Carbon monoxide poisoning and asphyxiation are our 2 biggest fears. You need good air, so we've done everything we can to provide good vents.
I've put the bed out and
Yeah, but
put
probably
our packs
tomorrow.
in. We can move in.
We can move in. Hut's been up 3 days and we've had our first fire, which has taught us a really good lesson. I was choking with the smoke. I was up high, Ted was down low. We just got it done. We got the flame out here. I was ready to chuck it out, but I didn't want to damage it, but the whole lot's stuffed anyway. It was a stupid mistake on my part, and we've got to rewire the whole lot.
I don't think this is a good idea, boys. I lost a bet. We made another silly bet at sea and I lost it. So I've got to do 3 circumnavigations of the hut.
The temperature at Cape Denison today will be around minus 12 degrees Celsius, with a gentle breeze coming in from the south. Bright and sunny conditions prevail, with the possibility of heavy snow and a late afternoon blizzard.
Here guys! Safe trip! Out of here, see you later! How am I going here, Jackie? That's it, we're on our own. We've got everything we needed and the weather's amazing. We've got to try and build the cold porch now and get our comm gear set up, so we're going to be really busy, but I think it's a late season, so if we're lucky we're going to get some good weather, but you know, it's kind of a funny feeling. It's just us now, just Ted and I.
I couldn't believe I'd said goodbye to civilization. No more hot showers, no more flushing toilets, no more crisp clean sheets and fluffy pillows. We had enough food and fuel to survive for 2 years. I just hoped it wouldn't be that long.
These were happy times. The weather was good, we relaxed into a comfortable routine in a magical new world.
Klebnikov, this is kind of baby.
We just chipped a hole in the ice so that we can get fresh water, because at the back of us is a big inland lake. So we've just chipped through the layer and it's actually bubbling up underneath, so it's quite clean. So we checked to see whether there was any, you know, like penguin poos lying around or anything like that, to make sure it is pretty clean, and it looks pretty clean. So we're filling up our first big tub of water for the hut. This is like a bonus. Any water that we can actually get is great because we don't have to use our fuel to melt the ice. We can have the heater on longer.
Ted's a bit worried. This is our first blizzard. Probably blowing about 100 knots at times. And this morning this wall was wobbling in and out, so we had to put a big beam on it. And this wall here now is starting to wobble in and out, so it's probably up to 100 knots. So far so good, but it's going to be a long winter.
I just loved the months of March and April. We were out exploring at every opportunity. I spent heaps of time with the Weedle seals. Their eyes just made me melt. We could see the seasons changing, and before long we were spending more days inside than out. Wind was our constant companion. After every blizzard I breathed a sigh of relief, with the pleasure of going outside and knowing we'd survived another one. Every day the temperature was dropping and animals were leaving. The few remaining penguins couldn't leave until their molt was complete.
I wondered how long it would be before all my newfound friends would fly or swim north. I knew it would only be a matter of time before we'd be totally alone. Instead of writing a letter home, I'll do a video home. Hello, Mum. You wouldn't believe the place if you were here today. And all I want to do is be with you, but it's so pretty here that you're torn between two worlds, to stay or not to stay, but I got no choice because the boat's not here. Check out the cabbage. It's -2 inside, and this is what happens when you hang your washing out. It freezes, and it's so funny because it even freezes your bottom in. And then you go to put on your undies, and look at this. Undies in space. Whee.
As you see, the harbour's freezing. The funny part is that in about 8 hours, that ice that's down there will be up at this level here. The tide's, going down a little bit, and it's all cracking along the edges. But this is probably only about 1 inch thick here at the moment. It's all sludgy and everything. If the wind stays away, it'll take probably about 5 days before I'd be happy to walk on it.
It's -5 and it's too cold. I'm not getting up yet. As soon as the heater's been on for 20 minutes and warmed the place up, I'll make an appearance.
When we started our generator for the first time in early May, it marked the beginning of a new era as our solar panels struggled to cope with days only a few hours long. Our lives were reduced to basics, revolving around the dreaded bucket run. The slops bucket, the toilet bucket, the ice bucket. In a world of snow and ice, water doesn't exist, and the moment we needed it, we had to melt it. We couldn't store it overnight, with inside temperatures dropping to -18 degrees Celsius, so bath days would develop into an 8-hour performance. We were eating, sleeping, living and surviving in a box, 2.4 metres by 3.6 metres, not much bigger than your average bathroom. At times we were trapped inside for up to 20 days straight. We were both beginning to realise how obscure our life had become.
Well, I was having a bath and I was balancing on our bath bucket. And I got off balance and I leaned against the heater and it cooked me like a char-grilled piece of rump, viewers.
Wind now ruled our lives. Our weather instruments confirmed that the hut was being regularly blasted by 240 km/h gusts. In 1912, Mawson had experienced 320 km/h gusts. Could our little box cope with that? It was a constant nagging fear.
I forgot to bring like a normal, like a Vogue magazine, like a pretty proper girls magazine, and I'm really craving it. Or even, like I'd even read a Woman's Weekly. I mean, yeah, that's desperation. And it is true, like the sun does have an effect, because your whole life you're actually, you know, you have the sun with you, and it's not natural to have it taken away.
And it's blowing about 100 knots outside. Our twirligig, a wind instrument thingo, has just started to read 00. So I don't know whether it's blowing away or whether it's just cut out or whatever. The barometer's dropped about 30 millibars in the last 4 hours or something. And it's down really low now, so we're in a classic blizzard. The temperature's going up. It's gone up from minus 24 and it's currently minus 18, so this is a typical blizzard. Like my little unicorn bit, just got back from doing a bucket run and now I can't get my balaclava off because it's stuck to my beard. It's a bloody beauty, isn't it? So I don't know, it's not that bad either. It's only about minus 38 out there, wind chill factor, but
Frozen beards were a novelty. Frozen vents were a life-threatening hazard and a continuing problem. I was endlessly coming up with new ways to keep them clear. Even more important was coming up with new ways to occupy our minds.
good morning, Liz. It's a bit windy and chilly down here, but it's midwinter, so that's a bit of excitement for us.
Everything was in my dreams every night, but usually I dream chicken, but oh, the turkey looks unreal. Back here there was an avocado and chicken sandwich. I want that too.
We were both now deep into this adventure, relying on each other heavily to survive, facing fear together many times. But as winter wore on, I became more and more concerned about Margie.
So the last 5 months have been, I don't know, fun. I suppose we were really busy in the beginning, setting everything up, and had a really hectic work schedule. And then the rest of the year, one by one, like all the animals left, I suppose. And the hardest part for me was when all the penguins really left, because it was kind of nature telling me that I shouldn't be here, but we were going to be here. And that's probably when I got more scared than when I ever got scared, and I didn't know whether it was because I thought the hut was going to blow down, whether I thought that I might die because Sometimes I feel I don't know enough about everything, or that I just was in somewhere I didn't realise where I was. But at home I'm always laughing, I'm always the lunatic of the place, I'm always doing practical jokes, I'm always bubbly. Down here for the last 4 months, it's been the other way round. I think I've cried once or twice every day. It just feels terrible because I must be so sad for Ted to have to put up with me.
Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday dear Daddy, happy birthday to you.
The 6th of August, the day after Margie's 35th birthday, was our first day out in weeks.
Everyone thinks it's a bit weird patting them, but I mean, he's perfect. It's like patting a pussycat, but he's got little feet and tail and little feathers, and he's really soft like it is a live animal. Maybe I am going weird, but everyone else gets to pat a dog or a cat, but for the last, 9 months we haven't patted anything that's kind of alive.
See if I still look the same, because I look like I go. Because I'm always wearing all of this stuff, I forget that I have a normal face and face cream and pretty.
So this is normal daylight, and so the days are starting to come back now, which is kind of good. Margie reckons I smell like a dead bear's bum. I haven't been able to have a bath for 20 days, but today is bath day, which is good. Every time I go to have a bath, you seem to get caught with either not enough ice or snow inside, because we've been having a lot of really severe blizzards. The biggest one went for nearly 8 days, when it was averaging 70, 80, 90 knots for those 8 days, and we couldn't get out. Margie's been having hers every week, which is good, but that's bad when I smell and she smells pretty.
Sun's coming back! Yes! It's so exciting. I cry when I'm sad, and I cry when I'm happy, but the sun's going.
A bizarre thing happened in October. The wind stopped. Minus 34 degrees Celsius temperatures cause the sea out front to slowly freeze and grow thicker by the hour.
That's it. Well, this is it. This is the big rock out the front of our place, and it's a lot bigger when you get here. So we're probably about half a mile offshore, I suppose, something like that. Of course, that's all the ocean, all out there. Bad news is we're waiting for the penguins. The penguins want to go over there. They can't swim in, and they're not going to walk on this stuff. It's really sludgy and sludgy. Ted's not too impressed at all. What do you reckon about walking on water?
We're not meant to do it, but I can see why the penguins aren't doing it, because it's really hard on your feet.
Yeah.
Really hard.
Yep, never mind. Well, we can say we've done it now. We could probably walk out the McKellar's. In fact, you could go anywhere, but there's some big black clouds coming, and there's some fine hairline cracks that we've crossed over, about 4 fine hairline cracks going all the way across. And they could start to move, although it's pretty solid out the back, so who knows.
Look, Mum, a pressure ridge! These are things you're not meant to stand on the edge of.
We had this really nice roast lamb dinner today, except the oven wasn't burning very efficiently and we carbon monoxided ourselves. So we've both got really bad headaches. So I've come out into the porch, which is freezing cold, to try and stop my head from pounding. And then I suddenly realised that it looks like I'm on jail and in visiting hours. So I've asked Ted to bring me a file next time, and then maybe one day we'll get out.
We had the vent sort of frozen up. There's ice in the top of it, and we had the heater on, and we had the top burner on doing the veggies, and we had the oven going doing the roast lamb. And I noticed there was yellow flame on it, but you just sort of didn't think again. Of course, the yellow flame on the burner is because there's not enough oxygen in here, and that means it's producing CO, which is carbon monoxide. And you just got this really tight headache and pain in the back of the neck. Ted's taken a tablet, but I'm just going to hang out. We've got everything opened again now, and everything's shut off, so it's going to get freezing in here.
Alive, penguin! Something else that's alive apart from us!
Carl, let's go. We're off. I've got to go and see this bloody penguin. There is little fella. Up on the rock. There's 2. There's another one. It is 2.
It is 2.
So it's October the... Yeah, it is 2. What's the date?
20th.
The 20th. So it's the 20th of October, and this other guy's heading up too. So maybe it's a pair. It's just up on the top of the hill up there, which is really... so there's 2. Yeah, huge chopper. First penguin to hit Cape Denison.
The whole hut is just melting. We've just got stuff everywhere, and I've just discovered another big pile of water underneath here.
These. Yes.
We got a problem. For the last 8 months we've been using 13 rolls of toilet paper per month. And this is now our monthly ration, which is 4 rolls of toilet paper, a packet of tissues, another packet of tissues, and then the versatile solvent.
Summer was a holiday camp. The animals were back and we discovered that whistling attracted Wilson storm petrels, beautiful little birds with delicate webbed feet.
Ted's trying to dig up the roast for Christmas and she can't find it. Come and check this out. She's unimpressed. And I've just run back in to get the camera because we nearly had our third debate. So here's Ted. What's wrong, Ted?
Nothing.
What are you after?
Nothing.
Hey? What's wrong? What you got, Ted?
Nothing.
Hey, it's Christmas dinner.
Can't find it.
What can't you find?
Christmas dinner.
When did you bury it last?
2 weeks ago.
Okay. You'll find it.
What else goes to the shop?
We got a chop. Unbelievable, there's a chop just turned up.
The Polar Star, an American icebreaker, was steaming offshore bound for McMurdo Base, 900 miles away. Unannounced, they dispatched a team to check their automatic weather station 400 metres behind our hut.
There they are, people, Ted. What do you think, people?
I know, they're weird. I want to see them.
I want to see them, me too. But these are the first people we've seen for a long time. So it's pretty exciting. Yeah, how are you? Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, thanks. Great Christmas. Good to see you. Hi, how are you? Stop making time. Yep. Look at that. Going in. Watch your head on the way through. Just go in and turn right. We just literally dived out of there, so.
Holy moly. You guys are hardcore.
Oh well.
Well, you've been here for a year though.
Oh, it's the dunny. We didn't get a chance to empty the dunny out.
20 days inside, huh?
Yeah, 20 days straight was the longest we had.
So is this held up pretty good throughout the year?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wave to the boys.
Oh, you don't mean it before we...
Jesus Root.
There you go.
Jesus
Yeah,
fruit.
Jimmy Buffett's birthday today.
Let's do this.
Okay.
We don't have that in Key West.
Wow, that's a mean looking chopper.
You've all been to the toilet?
That's the end of our visitors. They've already come and gone. It's all been over in probably less than half an hour.
There go the boys. It's amazing. The boys came and they gave me 10 pieces of juicy fruit.
Merry Christmas,
And
Ted.
Merry Christmas, Ted.
So what was it like seeing people for the first time?
Oh, it was weird. It was weird. It's worse now that they've gone.
Yeah. What about the hut? Tell them the funny part.
They didn't even do anything to the weather station.
Yeah, but what about the hut? What did we... What did you have to do before you walked out?
Hide the toilet bucket because it was full. And I covered it with a plastic bag so they wouldn't see it. But our house was a mess. And now they're gone again and we're still here.
Yeah, but the boat's coming, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know if it will come.
one of these is a day in the life, and that's 1995 for the two of us. And I really never thought we'd get to the end of that one. It's amazing.
Very exciting. Spirit's about 30 miles north of us. We put all the mooring lines out, and it's snowing at the moment, although it looks like it's going to clear up. And there's a northerly breeze coming, and they've been really rocketing. I got a feeling they're going to just follow that breeze all the way in, so we're just waiting for a call from them right now. And we might have people here in a few hours, which is kind of funny. We're just packing up and doing a few things, so it's really hard to believe that it's nearly all over.
He's real.
That you said I had there.
Put that in your pocket. Hey? Stick it in your pocket, quick. How the hell are you, mate? You still look as ugly as ever. G'day, mate. He's dead. How are you? Welcome to Antarctica. Good to see you. What's Antarctica like?
Unbelievable.
What a year. What about you?
During a year in Antarctica, you experience such highs and such low lows. And you look deep into yourself to work out what's the answer. What's going to give me the strength to keep going day after day. That's, I think, the most important thing that I've learnt. And hopefully I'll have a stronger, more sure direction on life. But I mean, who really knows?
Safe and sound. Oh, did you bring your mother yet and tell her that we're here to get you? No.
Well, here's our home. Starting to echo. Everything's gone. Most of it's on the boat now. Say goodbye to Gadget.
To my house, to my son. Even though you scared me, I still want to.
Hey, bye-bye. See ya, Gadget. We're gone. See ya. Bye-bye. Goodbye.
Antarctica is a very special place to make you realise you're living on this small planet. When you see the transition between 24-hour daylight and 24-hour darkness and how severe the conditions are, and watch the moon do some really weird things, you realise you're on a globe, suspended in the middle of space. If you were to die tomorrow, it doesn't matter a hoot. There would still be peak hour traffic, people going to work and restaurants. It just goes to show that nobody is bigger than the big picture.
What, who didn't you say goodbye to?
To Nigel, my penguin.
Yeah? He'll be alright. He'll come back as a grown-up.
Yeah, but someone will eat him. Oh, Seal.
Margie, why did you go?
Last time when Don went to Antarctica, I said I really, really want to go. So this time I said I really, really wanted to go, and geez, did I put my foot in it.